No, that's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on idobi radio on a Monday. We are live. We did it. We did it live. And I'm proud of us that we made it on this day of the first day of the week. It has been a long weekend. It's been a long week. We had the fun show a couple weeks ago. We were having fun. We were making sure we had fun. We were really dedicated to having fun. We didn't deviate from that for 1 second during that show. And we tried really hard. And it was a really difficult week that week, too, because it's a really difficult week every week in this country at this moment. And we are here now on this Monday. It is January 26th, 2026. And it's been tough. So this is going to be the not fun show. That's what we're doing here. Before we start that, though, I just wanted to show you what I'm working with here.
That
I'm
is
turning the
a
camera.
gorgeous nugget.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I really. Yes, you can probably tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a brand new hyphy strain.
Ooh.
That one was the papaya mosa.
Papaya mosa.
Yeah.
So I guess it's papaya and mimosa?
Yes. It's fruity. It's very fruity. It's sweet.
Very fruity and creamy too.
And yeah, very creamy. It is one of the ultimate dessert strains.
Yeah.
Purple,
It is. You're right.
sparkly.
It's been a
How's
long
it
time
smell?
since I've had a mimosa that it smells really good. It smells really, 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 really fucking good. When you open it, mm-mm, mm-mm.
That's
I
loud. I can smell it from here.
miss this weed, even though I don't know how it got here. Who knows? Who knows?
Some
You don't know where I am even. Maybe I'm in
magical pot
space.
fairy.
Yeah, the pot fairy. That is you. That is what we call you around town, the pot fairy.
I am wearing
You are wearing lipstick.
I'm wearing lipstick today.
Yeah,
You
I know.
know,
All the ladies would die if they knew your feminine wily ways.
I put on my Burt's Beeswax to unchap
What?
these lips so that they would be lubricated so that I could speak for the next hour,
And the
and it
light
looks
was
like I'm
hitting
wearing
you.
lipstick.
It does. You look glossy. You look like you're snatched. But you know
My
what?
lip gloss is popping.
Your lip gloss is popping. It is, and it was, and it looks great. And you know what? Who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Who cares at this point in time? We are gonna talk about some stuff. We can do what are you smoking anything?
I roll the enormous blunt
Oh,
of
you did.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
So
Nice.
I had to respect the studio, so I left it outside, but
I'm sure the studio is gonna get disrespected. Not idobi Studios. We would never do that to idobi Studios. We're talking about our own personal studios. Okay? Don't think us rude. And if idobi people are listening, know that we're good. We're really respectful for everybody when it comes to weed. Anyway, I feel like we are. We're not rude.
no, we're not
We're not
rude at
rude,
all.
dude. But Adobe's so cool and so amazing that if they did have an area for us to smoke, and they did at the old Yo, they would provide it to us. That is because Adobe fucking rules. If you haven't yet, download the free Adobe app, please, and listen all of the time to all of the shows, to all of the music. The only thing that is good in this world is weed and music and one of your friends. Not all of them. They can't all be good. But just remember that Adobe is free and made by humans, and we love to do it. We love it. So listen to idobi at all times, smoke weed as much as you can, do everything as careful as you can. So we are going to do the not fun show right into it. Over the weekend, we had, well, it isn't even the second. We can call it an execution. We can call it a murder. We can call it just gunned down, however you want to say it. We don't want to say unalive here. We don't want to say murder, but we have to because that's what happened. And ICE here in the United States of A, there is a modern day Gestapo, and they are picking people off the streets, American citizens, and they are shooting them. And that happened in Minneapolis this weekend. Second person, right? In Minneapolis?
Second person in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Not the second person this year, but the second person in Minneapolis and the second person that made big news. I had nightmares about the first person. Just go ahead.
Alex Preddy was helping a woman who had been bullied and pushed down by ICE agents. And we've all seen the videos. He was intervening as he does as a medical care professional. And in
Yeah.
turn, he was executed in the streets of
Point
Minneapolis.
blank. There's no arguing about it. If you do feel a different way, you are certainly listening to the wrong show. We are firmly in the fuck ICE camp. We also are in the know your rights camp. We will talk about some knowing your rights and some ways to protest. Watching the news today, it just bummed me out because everybody's outraged for 24 hours, and then we swipe through, or the news talks about, what was the Apple alert that I saw today? Like, the best way to like longevity through sleep or something like ridiculous. And I was like, you in the world, it's so dystopian to send me an alert that says ICE agents gunned down an American citizen who was helping another human being cross the street after being abused physically by the same group of ICE agents. It's difficult for me to just move on to longevity through sleep, especially knowing that there is a human being who will not have any more nights of sleep because he is dead, and he is dead at the hands of our government. And that makes us feel really angry, and that makes us feel really sad. And what they are saying, and they, quote unquote, is the DHS, is the government. They our dumbass president is calling for a quote unquote investigation, which means how can we spin this? Which means how can we alter this? And we're not being tinfoil. We're not being crazy stoners. We're not off. We're very logical in what we are saying. We're not being over emotional. This is real. This is a real thing. And an investigation will not be had in the way that we need it and we want it to be had, which is fair, and which is looking at it the way it happened, investigating and I think they talked about that a lot on the news today, how the president is open to an investigate, or he wants like that's some heroic thing that he wants what should be happening anyway to be happening. So I was discouraged, per the usual, at the news saying these things because, okay, the only way we'd be satisfied, I think, is if ICE was abolished. ICE was abolished. ICE was abolished. That's a good warm up. That's a good broadcast vote. ICE was abolished. Unique New York. ICE is abolished.
Abolish ICE.
Abolish
Abolish.
ICE. Sibilance. Abolish ICE.
What the?
You hear us laughing, but we're not, trust us, we're not laughing. We're doing our
It's
best. We're doing our best to gesture with you, but we wanted to talk about this right out the gate so that you know where we stand and so you know what is going on. If you're not here in the States and you're listening to us outside of the States, you've seen, and I know I've heard and I've seen online some places that it's pretty clear what's happening here in the States. And I do think that other countries are afraid for us. I think there's a travel ban to the U.S. I know there has been for a long time because it's not safe for trans people to travel here. It hasn't been for a long time from other countries. So that is something that has been in effect. It hasn't been great. It's not even it's almost a full year into what we were very afraid of happening, which is Donald Trump being president again. And what they laid out for us, what they said was going to happen is happening. And I would like to also bring up that everybody's bringing up how it's similar to World War II. I'd just like to remind you that, yes, of course, Hitler did what he did, and he was a bad guy. But America really set the blueprint for this type of shit. Really set the blueprint for racisms, for classisms, for other isms. And the Nazis said, huh, well, we could do this. They could do this. We could do this. And they did. They took it from us. We wrote the book on this. We did it from the get. If you tell me that America was free, I want you to ask a black person how they feel about that. I want you to walk up to any black person you see and say, when's the last time you felt free in America? When's the last time you felt good in America? And they will have a difficulty answering you. I don't think that that's an exaggeration in my words. So I am sad, I'm scared, and that's kind of just like where we're at right now. It's difficult. It's difficult for even TS and I to communicate ourselves, to each other. We're trying to talk each other off ledges every single day. We're trying to make sure we each remember there's beautifulness in the world like music and weed and, you know, my little niece and nephew and, you know, your nephews and stuff and each other. We're best friends and that's very important to us. Our families, we have really, really great families. Those are the things that we try to ground ourselves with. But I don't know how much longer we can keep telling ourselves it's okay, you know? So that's where I'm at with it. I did want to talk about how the DHS, I got a little spun off there, but I want to talk about how the DHS is spinning it that he was armed.
Yeah, yeah, these are the facts. In Minneapolis, in Minnesota, it is a right to you can open carry. They are
Oh, it's
considered
open.
well, you can open carry, but you can
Okay.
conceal carry because they issue permits a lot more freely. It's
Right.
like
Of
a
course.
right to it's part of your right to carry. And he was concealed carrying, which he
Which he
had a
can do,
permit
which he has the
for
right to do.
and the right to do. And Alex Preddy was not brandishing his weapon. It
He
was
was not.
holstered at the time. Holstered.
Mm-hmm.
He did not draw
Mm-hmm.
his weapon.
No, he did not.
His legal weapon, which he had a right to bear arms, according to the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And in the state of Minnesota is one of the states that actually will issue the permit to conceal and carry legally, which he was doing.
He was doing nothing wrong.
A
Nothing.
law-abiding citizen.
It was the way, sorry, excuse me, the way the White House spun it today. It was, well, not necessarily today. Today they pulled back a little bit, but yesterday, that fucking, I don't even know how to describe Bovino without a slur. Like, I
I
just
know.
want to say meanest shit about that
Oh,
fucking clown ass monster, but I can't.
he's going
Because I don't
away.
want to insult the slur. I don't want to insult the group of people that I'm saying with a slur. But he's going, what'd you say, going away?
Yeah, he's been removed
Yes,
from
today. Yeah.
as of today, as the commander in chief of ICE,
What only one
like hours
life
ago.
was lost? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like cool, cool. You know, and they removed him for optics, let's be clear. They didn't remove him because all of a sudden the White House cares about lives. You can't convince me of that, and you won't. That they removed him because they were like, whoa, 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 you know, like, let's have some humanity here. They removed him because they were like, oh, damn. There was a lot of people marching this weekend, a whole
Yeah.
lot of people in Minneapolis to go to a protest like that. It's Minneapolis we're talking about here. We are talking about the nicest folks. Next, you have Canadians and you have people from Minneapolis. And those are the kindest folks that you'll ever meet. And for them to be out there marching in sub-zero -30-degree weather, that's something. You know, that means our voices should be heard. It's not enough to remove that little fucking troll ass bitch from there. He should be removed from the fucking country. He should be removed. I don't see, I don't want to say things. For legal purposes, this is a joke. For legal purposes, everything I say that comes out of my face does not reflect my co-host or my company that I work for, but fuck that guy all the way to the bottoms and the depths of hell. Fuck that fucking Nazi all the way to hell. I told you I wasn't going to get like this before the show, and I'm
And
getting like this. I'm getting like this. Calm me down. Say some words.
we I don't
Cut
know
me
if I'm gonna
off.
calm you down, but I really want to talk about the Twatsie Christy Nome, who is in charge of ICE, this whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for her to be impeached. It's time for her to resign. She's out there with this spinning this story as if Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist, the nurse who spent his whole life, caring for people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the word they're using for Alex Preddy and Renee Good. That's the words that they're using about protesters. It's the same words you'll hear them use over and over again. What did they call the Black Lives Matter marches? What'd they call them? They called them riots.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're going to put their spin on every single thing that they do that is horrendous. And we know this. We know this. It just is important to repeat it, even if it's just to yourself. Even if you just, and I kept doing that the other day. I kept being like, nope, I saw this with my own eyes. So, and we are programmed to think something is amiss if it's coming from the government's lips. But we also care about rights, and we also care about, and we also know what's right and what's wrong. And we know what we're going to hear, and what we heard is what we expected. A bunch of fucking nonsense, a bunch of lies from the government when we saw it with our faces. And that is how it's similar to Nazi Germany. It's also similar to Jim Crow, babe. It's similar to things that we did already in this country. and that we clearly are doing again, and that we clearly don't give a fuck that we did before. And when you look at it, you want to say, well, the bad guys lost, right? Eventually the Nazis lost, the bad guys lost. But did they? I feel like we kind of let them off easy. But we certainly let them off easy. We certainly did. A lot of them came here to this
Yeah,
country.
they did, and they fled to South America.
Yep.
They kept their ideologies. Just
In fact, they spread them. The internet happened. People like you
it's
and me got podcasts. Only you and me spread love and weed and good vibes and rights. People like fucking Nick fucking Fuentes. And see, I can't even say words because if I were in the privacy, my Italianness would come out. But I just hate them so much. I just hate them so much
I
because they're
feel like
mean.
they are mean, and I felt like that they were like hiding. These ideas never went away, but they were
They were.
hiding, and
It was like
they were
embarrassing.
never out in the public. They were not out in the public square marching. They weren't at the like dressed up in uniforms and masks and coming out of U-Haul trucks. They were like in the backwoods practicing their rifles and uh, fucking who knows what. But now that Donald
Yeah.
Trump is taking control, they're bold and they're coming out, and it feels like, and I know that they were all the Donnie's dog whistles, but now they are emboldened and empowered to actually come out and march in the streets and support this fucking bullshit that's happening in our country as if it's their patriotic duty.
I mean, the years before Donald Trump got elected, right? The Obama years gave us a false sense of hope, right? Because it was a hopeful time. It seemed
Yeah.
like humanity was going to start in this part of the world. In other parts of the world, there's struggle, there's strife, there's war, there is famine. But we were taught and we were told this is the place where maybe even the misfits come, or the people who are here are descendants of misfits or brilliant people or people who left because of whatever was happening in their country. And they came here and everybody got together and they formed a wonderful idea of modern capitalistic democracy and used it for good. Even though we weren't told the right history from the second our little baby feets walked into school, we didn't learn the right history. We learned a fake history. And if you think about that in the terms that it is, and if you think about the showiness of how the government throws a bone at marginalized groups and says, here, have this. But it's not really going to be like that. You're not really going to be free, or you're not really going to be okay. We're not really going to let you live here with rights. We're not really going to accept you. Oh, you want to come here? That's cool. It's going to take you for fucking ever to get your green card. Your visa is going to expire, and then we're going to hunt you down. We're going to find a fucking parking ticket on your record, and we're going to kill you. And what era am I even talking about? Am I talking about now? Am I talking about the 70s? Am I talking about during slavery? When am I talking? Like, this is what's making me feel like a crazy person, is like, it's just like with weed, and we will parlay this. We get these bones from people who make rules. We get these, okay, have at it, you free-spirited freaks, and we get weed legalization. OMGs, the whole world is turning green. Everybody loves weed just like they always did. Even though that manufactured war on drugs happened, we're going to make it right. People like TS and Sasha, we're going to make it right one fucking podcast at a time. And we thought that for 10 years, we thought that even through the struggle of COVID, through the ridiculousness of the first Donald Trump presidency, we thought we could do it. And we're still doing it. Flash forward all these years later, and we've seen what big weed has done to all of our friends, to each other, not to each other, but to each other respectively. We've seen the corruption of trying to take a plant that should be studied and revered and understood, and we've seen it go almost backwards in its progression. And that's making me feel like I've lost my mind. Like, I'm like, oh, cool, everything's cool. We can fucking post a picture on TikTok or whatever. No. And that's like international, so whatever. But like, whatever we're about to talk about, still you cannot buy a gun and be a consumer of weed, correct?
That is correct.
My mom was like, I didn't know this because my mom's doesn't know much about guns. She knows about weed though. And she was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, no, you can't have a gun and say you smoke weed. She's like, well, what do people do? I was like, well, they write down that they don't smoke weed. And she was like, like, because it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why are we forced? Why are you forcing me to do this? Not me. I do not have a gun, but I do smoke weed. And I do wonder oftentimes how important it is for me to be protected, as it is supposed to be in my rights that my forefathers fucking wrote with their feet, apparently, because no rights matter at all. So what am I supposed to do as a very open weed smoker? What am I supposed to do if I ever wanted to buy a gun? I mean,
Well,
you don't have to tell me for legal purposes. This is a joke.
well,
What would
okay.
one do?
First, there's a federal statute 18 that prohibits cannabis users from possessing a firearm.
Blanket
But
statement, not even medical use, not
oh yeah, so it's
yeah.
hard to. That's like one of the things. Like, what is an unlawful user? Because in states where you have medical cannabis, if you that you have to actually register with the state, such as Florida,
Mhm.
which you can open carry. I don't even know if you need a permit to conceal, but you can buy a firearm pretty easily, except
Sure.
if you are a medical cannabis user, which
So
is legal.
they you just have to say
You just
they ask
you
you the question, right?
when you're filling out your application,
You do what you wanna do.
you would you
You
would
vote with your heart,
probably yes. You have to answer that however you think you should answer
however
that if
you feel you should.
you
We will not give
need
you legal advice.
your firearm. So it's gone through the court system, and because uh, there was a case we talked about this a little bit a couple of shows ago. A retired sheriff
Mhm.
who
Yes.
currently uses medical cannabis and is registered because it's hard to get medical weed in Florida. So this sheriff went to get renew his permit and get it going, and he answered all the questions correctly and lawfully, and was denied a conceal carry permit.
Did they
And
reverse
actually,
that?
he was denied fucking buying another gun.
Oh, so no, it got worse. I thought
Yeah.
maybe he progressed. Cool. But it's the no fun show. What am I thinking? So that is still the case. That is still the case. And what is the reason for this aside from stupidity and lack of knowledge? Would you say?
The
Like,
reason
what will the government say?
it's
Is because weed is legal? Okay, no, it's not in many states. What is what?
why is it
What?
still like this? Like what? Like they can't make a okay. Well, this is a sticky
What's
situation
the
too
real
because
reason and what's the reason that they're saying?
there's like federal gun laws and then there's state gun laws. So the reason is because it is illegal federally is what they
Yes.
are saying. And
Yes.
that the federal laws trump any state laws. So on this particular the ATF like regulates firearms as like the blanket of what you can and can't do. Like so that's pretty much universal. It's on anybody that actually has a questionnaire for you to buy a firearm. It will ask if you are it asks I actually had this pulled up. It asks you about just drugs in general, but on the newer version of it, it specifically says marijuana. So even if you are a lawful user, which you and I think it might say medical as well on there, but previous years it just said like unlawful user. So, you can not a lawyer,
Right.
but take that
Right.
how you do you in your state.
Mhm.
For example, here,
You are
I'm a
not an
lawful
unlawful user.
user.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear I'm a lawful user as well.
So, that's one of the arguments to getting this gun ban reversed.
It looks like it's going to be difficult. It's just another, it's another hurdle, I guess, to jump through. The ACLU is working on it. They are trying to figure it out. I don't know if they're going to have much luck, but they're giving it their all, as the ACLU does. They are trying to do their best during this time where rights, the reason that they exist is what's happening now. They're there to stand up for rights, and mostly they do good jobs of that. So they are arguing this case. They're saying it's outdated. Obviously, we think that as well. It's so, like you said, so silly. And also, we're so stuck in limbo with rescheduling anyway. The federal versus states' rights with cannabis will always plague us, always, until it's removed off of the scheduled list. So, okay, like
it sounds to me like we need some serious fucking changes in our federal government,
No.
like top to
You
bottom,
like
a
it like it is?
full
Wait, are you
revamp,
sure?
a full
No,
rebranding.
no, no, no. You
We
mean
need a
even the
full
president of the United States? You're talking about the president from top to bottom?
top to
No.
bottom
You
clean house.
you you are saying the things that we're all thinking. I can't believe you went
Let
there.
me go out on a limb. I love pizza.
Yo, you crazy for that though. You wild. I think we're gonna take a break. We do want to talk about some important stuff clearly and confidently. So yeah, I get, we'll keep an eye on this. It'll be very unexpected if cannabis catches a dub and these cases are seen. The court already denied a bunch of them. They don't have any interest in progressing the cannabis fucking agenda. They're too busy murdering humans, pocketing money, and securing their fucking spot on the next SpaceX to Mars. They don't have any interest in us. So we will absolutely be watching. And we sure do hope that you are safe. You do what you got to do. We wanted to just relate this whole first thing into the latest news, how it affects everything that the government does affects us all, especially in this industry. So, yeah, just do whatever you have to do. Just be careful. And again, like we said, just try to find the moments. And we're going to give you some tips, some rights that we would like you to know, which the ACLU also is partaking in you knowing your rights. So it's no fun, but we're trying to stay calm. We got a little angry there. Well, by we, I mean me.
I
I didn't
too
mean
am
to let you say
angry.
anything. I know. I'm just a wild woman. I'm a crazy woman with woman feelings.
You nasty woman.
I'm a nasty woman. I'm a piggy. All right. We are going to take a break, I think, right? It's a good time to do that.
Yeah, I think it's break time.
And then we'll be right back. I'm looking for. Okay, I can't find anything. I was gonna play something fun, but I can't find it because it's the no fun show. So we'll be right back.
We're back.
Yeah, it's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on idobi. It's the No Fun Show. We're just gonna tell you that now. We're trying our best. If you hear us get a little here on this side of the world, but we're not going to be, big old pouty pantses. We have, a little bit of time together and we're going to make it count. We want you to know if you're out there making your voice heard with your right to protest peacefully, which you have been doing a fantastic job of, by the way. I love my country, New Jersey, definitely out there on all the interstates, all the parkways, and for sure New York City can Mayor's Eve, baby. But yeah, lots of people, Minneapolis, all the way. Keep at him. You got one guy out. You kicked him right the fuck out, and you did that with your voices and your striking, and that's amazing. You kicked that Bovino right out on his tuchus. You did, and that was a good move. And we want you to do that safely. We also want you to do what you can too. So TS,
Yeah.
you are going to go through. Not you. I'm not going to sign off. We are going to talk about some safe ways to protest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We are.
Real quick.
There's many things you can do, even if you can't take to the streets or be out in front of the hotels that practicing your drumming while ICE agents are trying to sleep at the local hotel, which is one of my favorites that's happening. The
Yeah.
drum circle around the hotel is just amazing. But there's a lot of things you can do to protest and resist ICE. And one thing is you can join a support community group, defense and rapid response.
Yes.
Make sure you could be out there with the whistles, alerting your neighbors to stay indoors, report, document everything, keep those cameras rolling as long as you can.
Yes. Always film. I think what we've seen the last couple weeks is that we have the technology and we knew that this is what would happen. Kendrick told us this is what would happen last year, that it's going to be televised. The real revolution may not be, but the loud one is going to be televised, and it's got to be. That's why we're doing this show, by the way, Z's. We know some of this isn't weed related, but it's all weed related, baby. Because we have a voice and an hour, and like, it's an organically grown platform, but it's a platform that I have an immense gratitude for. And we know that you are listening to us, knowing that we know that you know that. So we just want to use our voices, and for you to use your voice. Sorry, I just had to say.
Using that voice, something you could do from the comfort of your own home. One of my favorite apps is the 5 Calls app.
Tell
You
me more.
can. What's that?
Tell me more.
Oh, yes, yes. Thanks for asking, Sasha, about the 5 Calls app. It will help you to call your representatives and to demand no more funding for ICE and CBP. Urge them to support the DREAM Act and protect immigrant rights. You can do all of that. It's easy. You put in your zip code and you can make those calls right there. If you're snowed in during the blizzard right now, make
Yes.
5 calls. You'll be happy you did. There's a script. You
Yes,
can
easy.
follow
And
the
I am
script.
somebody who we know hates phones. I hate doing it. I don't like it. It gives me anxiety. And if you can send it to me in I even prefer a voice memo. I hate the phone. I still will do this. I have it all planned out in my fucking planner, and you can find the scripts. Scripts are important for people like me who hate the phone. I hate this, but I will fucking do it. It's the least I can do. I'm snowed
Read.
in. I'm not out. I will do this.
You can pre-record it, play it again. Make sure you leave your name and address so that your opinion is counted and forwarded to the proper officials.
Yes, yes, yes. Easy. 1, 2, 3, easy. That is like, you can have, if you don't like making phone calls, you can have your mom do it.
You can
Your
also,
husband. Not like I
one of
do
my,
that, because I don't.
I will do it in your voice.
Hello, this is Sasha, and I'm mad. Please defund ICE.
I didn't know if you're gonna play it straight and like actually do a call, but you said probably what I would say. That's why you need these scripts, please. Could you just
Feel free to ad lib.
Sorry,
no,
feel
we're
free to
no
ad
worries if
lib.
not. Yeah. Ad lib, say what you the scripts are good. You can also throw in a little flair and a little spice, but whatever you are comfortable with doing. It's a very easy way. It's a very easy way to show up, to say that you were part of the right side of history. And I think that that's like some really good advice to take. We have to keep talking. Not
If
us, I
you-
mean the proverbial we, but we should keep talking.
If you have the means to support the ACLU or any legal defense funds, or let's see, there are charitable organizations that help people make bail if they are detained or have legal troubles while they're protesting. They'll help you out. Also, boycott companies that support this,
Yes,
that
please.
support ICE. Boycott
Money talks.
hotels that house ICE agents. Boycott fucking U-Haul that keeps renting to ICE
Yeah.
agents and fucking neo-Nazi groups.
Mm-hmm.
Those things work. We saw it work when everybody deleted their Disney accounts.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. There's power in money. If they won't listen to your voices, obviously they're gonna listen to your wallets. That is what, unfortunately, we are really big on here in this country, is a bunch of that stuff, is a bunch of monies. And if you start boycotting for realsy real though, like not passively, I mean, there are a lot of companies that are mainstream. And I have a difficult time telling people what to do with their monies, especially those who don't have many options. This may be a difficult time, because if you can think about it, like, we're already having like a restrictive access to many, many things. If it takes a bit longer to get the things that you need, try it out. Give it a whirl. Sometimes I know that there's no other choice than some of these companies. But if the big ones, if enough of us just here and there can find where we can do without some of these companies, if we really do it, if we really, really boycott these companies, they will feel it. I mean, Target's a great example. Target, I won't like go into too many details, but Target was boycotted for a while. They were on the wrong side of history about genocide. Their stock went down. There's nothing on Target shelves. I think a lot of that had to do with the boycott.
Targets here are pretty quiet.
Yeah. because they showed their heinies. And that's what I feel like all of these companies have done, and that's what they're doing. So if we can show them that it's difficult, but I will do the thing that is uncomfortable. And listen, if you have no other choice, please don't feel guilty. Just call your reps. Call your reps. But please do something. I beg you. You have to say something right now. This is where we get to do a thing. This is where, if this is really the place where we were hoping it would go after all of these many, many years of corruption and lies, that would be lit if we could if we can turn this on its ass just by using our voice. We inch forward, So please try all these things. Is there anything else before we go to our last break?
Yes, and this is one that we're doing
And
right
please,
now.
take your time.
Know your rights and educate yourself on your rights, and also help others to educate them on their rights as well. You have the right to remain silent. Do not open doors without a warrant signed by a judge, and protect your community members and let them know that regardless of their legal status, they are protected by these rights as well. So everybody has the right to remain silent. Do not open your doors without a warrant signed by a judge. And also, if you can, distribute these materials to your neighbors and friends, and make sure help educate your fellow human about what they have, what their rights are. So know your rights.
Know your rights. Know your rights. You may feel that is the least you can do. Sometimes that's how I feel. And it is. And that's enough until you can do more. And then more, and then more, and then more. Those are the facts, ma'am. So, oh, sorry, I just did a dated reference. I did just the facts, ma'am. All right.
Joke Friday.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you were gonna get it. But I have a feeling just the facts, ma'am, is just the most important thing for you to remember. And it's difficult, right? In a time when you say, I want to help that woman who just got pushed by somebody on the street, I want to go help them. You don't know that that's going to be the last thing that you thought. And unfortunately, it was for an American citizen by other quote unquote American citizens. And we just want you to know that you still have a voice. We're not done yet. Use it safely and soundly. Reference this, DM us. We got advice for days. We are not lawyers. We're just a couple of activist stoners who believe in the right things. Call us old fashioned. But I'm going to take another quick break. I don't know that we have much time to talk about Missouri. We can get to that maybe next week. Sweet Missouri. I'd like to spend more time on that instead of just a couple minutes. So we'll just come back after this break and, say bye. We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
The Physical Nerdy Show. That's Diaz.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live. We're just going to say bye. Did you want to say some stuff? You look like you had.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
'Cause it is the final Hufflepuff after all.
I'm ready to, I'm ready to sign off.
Are you
Well,
talking about the show, or are you okay?
I'm okay.
Everything cool?
All I have is like a Tupac song going through my brain right now, and it starts off with like fuck ICE, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Twatsy, Christy Nome, fuck you Scott Jennings, you fucking
Twat.
cirrhosis of the liver motherfucker.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Remember, kids, don't panic.
It's organic. You surprised me.